people can get some ASMR of me eating food. It'll be sexy. I love it.
We're already live, but I'm doing the countdown. Screw it.
Whatever. Stick to your fucking guns, man. Make it happen.
I mean, hey man, welcome everybody to episode 54 of Read This Way, where we are as organized as we always are. Not at all.
Oh man, everything is upside down at the moment. So let's see how we go.
News-wise, not a clue.
I was actually just flicking through it then. Like there's next to nothing going on.
Good. We've got a new series to talk about. Did you get around to reading that?
Yeah. No, I did.
Did you actually?
There's a new series.
Because it was dope.
So my excuse is I got a new phone and it's not displaying things the same way. So what's it called? What's the new series called?
Ichigo.
Wild Strawberry. Oh, this is the one you sent me the picture of.
Yeah,
and I was just like,
I knew it was strawberry something.
Yeah,
and I couldn't remember if it was actually English or Japanese. That's why I was like, Ichigo something.
Yeah, if Bleach has taught us anything, Ichigo means strawberry, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you learn it from Bleach. I learned it from Ichigo 100%.
Yeah, I think it will.
It's a
No, I did learn it from Bleach, but then I relearned it. It was like when I was like learning Japanese, it was like whoa, I knew that one, and I learned Ringo.
It's a familiar word. I know Japanese.
I learned Ringo from Air Gear.
Ringo?
Yeah.
Like the drummer?
Nah, like the apple.
Ah, does that mean apple?
Also, his name was like Richard or something. He changed it to Ringo.
Which sounds so much cooler than Richard.
Yeah. And his last name was like Starsky or something like that.
Oh, he had that set up.
Right?
I mean, when you look at it, you're just like, that is beautifully set up.
Also, Ringo wasn't the one that married Yoko Ono, was it? That was
that was Lennon.
Thank you. Although I think they all were a bit of weebs.
Early weebs.
Jeez. I knew that they were getting on, but I didn't realize they're in their 80s already. Yeah, it was. It was Richard Starkey.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
This looks mad. Sorry, I'm just flicking through it. I'm not even reading. And
dude, it is so good. Such a baller of a first chapter.
It's giving me Heavenly Desires crossed with The Last of Us kind of vibes.
Parasite.
Oh, Parasite. Is that what it is? Okay, so aliens?
I don't know.
Sorry,
man.
you said Parasite, so I assumed aliens.
But it's giving me hella Parasite vibes.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, probably like a mix of the things that you said and I said.
Sounds like visually it looks fantastic.
It was a really, really strong first chapter.
Yeah, there's a lot of work in this.
I'll get into that in a little bit. And I want to touch on Icehead Gill. I think is that what it's called?
Yeah, I did do that for you though. I did that for you.
Cool. I feel like I'm happy with that because that's a comparison that I want to make between those two. I watched a new series today, and going to talk about that for a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then we'll go over the weeklies because there's not really a whole lot of news.
No, we can do a bit of gushing this week.
We don't have. I don't have anything to really hate on this week. I do want to touch on a little bit again from what we were talking about last week with Go Hands. Mainly because you have a little bit more knowledge of the studio now. And I only found out afterwards.
I wish I didn't. Sorry.
God. But anyway, we'll get into that in a moment. So yeah, welcome to episode 54. Just a little slight note as to why I found out the Ringo Starr's real name. I watched a real big One Piece theory that was talking about how Oda was influenced by the Beatles and has a lot of references in there. I'm like, it was really convincing. I'm not gonna lie.
You could probably connect anything. That thing has got so many references.
Yeah.
You could seriously connect almost anything to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just that crazy guy with the whiteboard behind him going
Charlie Day. Yeah.
Yeah. It's great. Great. So you don't have any news at all? I know you probably haven't really looked. I mean, this week's.
Oh no, I haven't actually. Yeah, shoot. If you've got news, shoot it. Shoot your shot.
Shoot my what now?
Your shot. Shoot your shot all over me.
Okay, but only because you asked nicely.
Thanks.
Right.
Actually, there was we got the Naruto one shot dropped as well. I haven't gotten around to reading that yet, though.
Oh, okay. Yep.
It looks really nice, but I haven't done any of that.
Look, dude, I'm looking through the news, and there's so many things that are just like, top 10 of this, and this is a new series this week, and we're going to talk about the new dub cast for this show. So there's not a lot of like groundbreaking news or anything floating around.
You know what else I haven't done today? Red Chainsaw Man.
Haven't you?
No.
Oh, did I accidentally send you a thing that you didn't know? No?
Maybe. I don't know.
No, I didn't. I screenshot it and I was going to send it to you, but I hadn't. It's a good thing I hadn't, because that would have spoiled it for you. Have you not read it?
I don't know how, man.
Can you just... I'm just going to... One second. Give me a second. I'm going to bring up some news, and I'm going to talk about the news while you read Chainsaw Man, because it's literally going to take you 15 seconds. It's one of those chapters that is very little on the dialogue.
Okay.
So I don't think the camera is actually catching this, but I got like...
You say that and like
coming out of my mouth.
Oh, nice.
Oh no, you come out, you hit like this block of text, but it dissipates very, very quickly. Mishoko Tensei is back on the ranks this season, which is fantastic. It's good to see. It comes in strong with the first episode. It's been really nice. There's still a lot of talk about the One Piece live action hitting the ground. It's so mixed. The reactions are so mixed at the moment. There's a lot of people who are just confused, and a lot of people that are angry, I think.
Man, I'm sorry, I'm not listening to you at all.
No, that's fine. I'm blabbering because I want you to read the chapter, because we need to talk about this a little bit later. was it the Atelier Riser series premieres? So so it's hit pretty high acclaims. People are pretty happy. I noticed that there's a lot of promotional shots of the main character's thighs, so that illustrates a lot to me in regards to what people are expecting from this show. So it might be a little bit extra. They've announced the English dub cast for Reborn as a vending machine,
Dude,
which
I know
I'm
it
on
looks
board. I'm
so dumb.
actually
I
I'm
haven't gotten around to it yet, but it looks
every
so
time they
much fun.
release one of these really stupid isekais, I get sucked in.
It looks
Because
like
they're just
someone wrote it
ridiculous.
off a drunken bet. Like they were
Yeah.
they're
They're just like,
super
nobody will
drunk.
ever do this.
They're like,
We're gonna do it.
you can't
You
you
get
can't just write an isekai about anything.
but oddly enough, I'm actually sort of keen to watch it in English dub because that's the kind of show I'd like to have on in the background. And being comedy, I have trouble keeping up with the speed of subtitles in comedies. So and watching the show at the same time, it's just it's difficult. So English subs on comedies tend to be, sort of do a lot better for me. There's a lot of people that will argue, but no, I don't care. I love a good dub. What else have we got? Everything is no, that doesn't make any sense to me. I tell you what, that color splash that Jump did this week with all the weekly characters, MCs in it. Oh,
I don't know
so
if I've seen that.
haven't you?
No.
Man, where have you been? Have you been under a rock?
Yeah.
No Chainsaw Man, no color illustrations. Where have you been?
I've been working hard for the money. So hard for the money.
Working
Is it the
hard,
fifth?
hard for the honey.
Give me lots of money. Are you talking about the weekly Shonen Jump 55th anniversary appendix?
Yeah, that illustration. Looks dope.
This one?
Fully sick, brah.
Share screen.
This one, he says, and then it just doesn't show anything.
Blow!
Ka-chow! No.
Is that the one you're talking about? Oh.
No, actually, but that looks really cool. No, I was talking about the
Wow.
banner. They have a banner.
Oh, you're talking about this one? Blow!
Yeah, that one. I love that one.
It was the post underneath it.
Yeah. The other one's okay, but this one I like. I'm a big fan of
every
the
Monday.
3-tone color system. Give me a goddamn Riso print of that. I would kill myself.
I like that it's every Monday, but it's like the logos of all the
Yeah. Like I said, it's got the MCs from all the weekly releases. And look at that. Look at that. Is that Replicant 100 up the back there?
Yeah, over here.
Wow. I'm getting onto that.
Cinema,
I'm going to have to get onto it. If it's going to be a regular weekly like this.
MMA, I said Guild, Do Retry, Cypher Academy, Undead Unlock, Roboco, Sucker Murder. Yeah, I'm honestly surprised that it's still going.
Yeah, there must be something to it. So I'm going to have to check it out because it must be selling in Japan, which means
Itadori looks...
He looks he's tripping.
He looks gruff as hell. Like he's like got the 1,000-yard stare on.
But if you look at the one two across, who is that?
Akane?
No, that one.
This one?
Yeah. Can't put my finger in who that is.
Ew. Did you mean your finger on who that is?
Isn't that what I said?
No, you said in.
Yeah, I didn't say in.
Yeah, you did.
That's not what I said. I said on.
It's these two. So I'm not sure.
Yeah. I'm not familiar with the character, so. But I was looking at the black eyes and going, wow, that looks crazy.
not.
Right.
No, that's not Ruri Dragon. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah. That's cool.
We got this thing. Where did I have
I mean,
it?
I've distracted you from Chainsaw Boy. Now.
Chainsaw Boy.
It's Chainsaw Boy because you read it and it's Chainsaw Boy.
Nura Rise of the Yokai Clan. Kage by Hiroshi Shibashi in the cover of Ultra Jump issue number 8. I don't know, man. I really like the aesthetic of this. It looks cool.
It's got a bit of vibe to it.
Illustration commemorates the ending of the series' short-term sequel. Oh, okay.
We like this, but it's ended.
Yay! Oh, dude. Chainsaw Man Volume 15 cover.
Come on. Splash it on me. Spread it all over my face.
Blam!
Ooh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Yep. We like that.
We got
Fallen
Dragon Ball
Devil,
Super.
Gravity Devil, whatever you want to call it.
Dragon Ball Super cover. Blam.
Good for me.
I have no idea what's going on in Dragon Ball Super, and frankly, I don't know if I do care, but this does look like a really dope cover.
It looks really cool.
Why do they look like they're in high school? What is going on in this series?
They're probably in high school.
Oh, is that
because that's not Trunks and that's not Goku.
What? That's not Goten? And that's not Trunks?
It's got to be someone else. It's got to be their kids.
I don't even care.
I don't know. I've lost it. I've lost it, man.
Like,
it's too many.
I grew up on Dragon Ball, and I'm really surprised that it's still going.
Maybe it is Goten.
I
don't know.
I don't know.
Don't know, man. Can't help you. Still looks good. Looks really good.
Yeah, you are not kidding. There is not a lot in the way of news.
It's so edgy.
Oh, okay. So that thing that I just showed, that was a spin-off thing for this one, which has been on my list on Manga Plus for a while.
Oh, I have not noticed that on Manga Plus.
No? Oh, dude, it looks. I saw it and was like,
cool.
damn, that looks pretty, and it's like right up my alley because it's like all the yokai stuff, and it looks like a period piece. So I don't know, looks cool.
Yeah, it looks traditional yokai kind of biz, not the cutesy kind.
And speaking of, kind of a I'm gonna talk about it now anyway. Segue into forgotten what it's called. Man, we are not.
Wait, where are we segueing? Come on, man.
I'll segue in a minute.
You segued into the poop. That's what you did.
Undead Murder Farce. That's what it was.
Farce? As in
farce.
Like Fassbender? That kind of farce? Oh, yeah, I need to get onto that.
This was dope as hell.
Yeah, sorry, I haven't watched that yet, but it is on my to watch list very quickly.
I watched it while I was smashing down some food like 20 minutes before we started. It was really
cool, edgy vibe.
It's really fun. All I knew about it was pretty much everything that gets talked about. It gets shown off in the first episode. It's set in a farce of the Meiji era. They even like that's how they introduce it. They're all like, "Oh, this is set in the Meiji era, but not the Meiji era that you know. You could even say it's a farce." I was like, "Oh, they said the title. Roll credits."
It's done. We're done.
And yeah, so our MC on the right hand side there, the boy dude man,
He's a vampire dude, right?
No, he's an Oni. Well, he's
Oh no, yeah,
he's a
Okay.
half Oni, and the he's basically in like a freak show where he is fighting other yokai to the death for the amusement of some just deranged humans. Is what they do. It's like a
Yeah,
freak show battle royale sort of thing. Um,
we love freak shows, man. That's human nature.
what is wrong with us? Seriously.
Screwed up in the head.
Yeah. It was really cool. I really enjoyed the first episode. The animation was gorgeous. Aesthetically, it looks so pretty. Um, the action fight scenes were impeccable. There was a scene where the maid lady, she unfurls a really pretty gun with a bayonet on the end, and she like holds it upright, pulls the fabric covering around it, and the gun just like pirouettes, and then she grabs it and then points it at him, and then he pours a beer down the barrel. So then she can't do the pew pews. So she resorts to doing the stabby, and they have like this really cool martial arts battle. Um, and that's when he gets introduced to the immortal who has been beheaded by another half Oni, or what she believes to be a half Oni, because Onis are the only things that can disrupt um, other yokai's like immortality and like regeneration. And so, because it was what she believes to be a half Oni, is because she can't regrow her body. So she is coming to him being all like, "Hey, can you kill me? And I'll tell you how you can live a bit longer." And he's just like, "Better option. How about we go get your body back and you tell me how to live longer?" And she's like, "Yeah, but nah, my body's like far away." And he's like, "No. Let's go get your body." And so the first episode ends with them striking a deal to go to Europe to track down this old man who has a cane with an M on it, and I'm putting my money on it that it's Moriarty. Um,
Just because he's
he,
got a cane and a hat.
he looks like Moriarty.
He's
Like,
English. It's
yeah,
gotta be Moriarty.
it's gotta be.
It's gotta be.
And so yeah, that's the premise and pretty much the first episode. It was really fun. Um, Definitely going on, continuing on watching this one.
I'm definitely gonna jump on board with that. It looks
Also,
fantastic.
the
I
severed
was just
head's
looking
really
up the
pretty.
studio.
Is it White Fox?
Lap and Track. The
I
studio's
thought I
called.
saw White Fox in the credits.
And they
Huh.
might have done a little bit of work on it. But Lap and Track is the major studio that's worked on it.
Right.
Who are also associated with MAPPA. They've worked together with MAPPA on a few
Okay.
projects over the years, including Sarah Zanmei, which I'm sorry, I actually have to read out on Wiki. There's a description of the Sarah Zanmei series, and I just want to clarify this. This is how it reads: the description for the series. Follows 3 middle school students who are transformed into cuppas in order to collect
Oh, that series. Yes.
Kodama,
Do
mythical
you know?
balls located in the anus that contains the physical manifestation of one's desires. Can you
Yeah.
please explain that to me
And
in just
you don't know the lore behind kappas?
not fully,
You
but
feed
I
them
want to watch this
cucumbers so
series.
they don't reach inside your butthole to steal your soul.
love this stuff so much.
Why do you think
I
yokai
really
is like my biggest jam? It's so stupid.
It's so.
Who comes up with this shit? Seriously.
You just think of the most terrible thing that could happen to you and turn
Why
it
were
into
they
a yokai.
First, I have several questions. First of all, why was sodomy the worst thing that a kappa could do to you? Secondly, why cucumbers? Thirdly, why is the soul residing in your butt?
No. They extract your soul from your butt. It doesn't
No,
necessarily mean it's in your butt.
no. The Kodama is resides like in the butt area.
Well, that's where all the
yeah.
juice is at, isn't it? In that area.
I don't know, man. Also, look at the cover.
Everything happens down there.
Isn't that a sick cover?
That is a pretty sick cover. What's that?
That's the light novel cover for the Undead Murder Farce.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a great piece of work, and I'd like to know the artist behind that.
So good.
Okay. Yeah. So that's on the watch list, man. Along with all the other things that are on the watch list. Because let's face it, there's
This season
a bit
is
to watch
packed.
this season.
It is packed.
And it's making it very difficult because we're being very well fed in the manga scene as well. So it's hard to find this balance to be able to read and watch everything all at once.
Just the last little bit of thingies with that series. I'm thinking it's a. I don't know how much it's going to be.
Harem.
It's not going to turn into a harem.
It's going to turn into a harem.
Oh, they do. So the minor spoilers for the first episode. The way that she prolongs his life is she does the All Might, and she's all like, "You have to eat a piece of me."
She's got no arms.
Yeah, she's like, "You could eat my face, my ears, my brain, or whatever, or you could eat a piece of me that I can spare, like my tears, my sweat, my hair, my saliva, my mucus."
Dude,
And
why
he's
didn't he eat her face?
and she's like, "I don't cry or sweat very often, so you're left with mucus or saliva." And he's like, "Saliva, please." So
got a bit of kissy action. She just spit in his mouth.
Well, it's a little unclear whether or not she spits in his mouth or they kiss. It looks more like a kiss, but
it sounds like a spit pink. Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah.
I would say that it's a detective historical vampire series, but it feels so fun, like a little like Death Parade.
Like it's a little quirky, set in a
Yeah.
weird time period.
Yeah.
Things
Like,
are just a little bit
fun.
askew. Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. What I've seen of the video footage of it is just it does look really beautiful. I know that.
It is just mwah.
Nice.
Chef's kiss, burn apple teeth.
But
oh wow, it's sitting at a 4.9.
Way too long to catch on to. It's just like, why have you got apple teeth and why are you burning them?
No. Yeah. Yeah, it's sitting at a 4.9 on Crunchyroll. Not that we can really,
but a real.
I
know, not a fake one.
And a 7.73 on my anime list.
Nice.
Yeah, pretty respectable. It's got 2 episodes out so far. It's just a lot of fun. Kind of reminded me a little bit of Bacano, which doesn't help you because you haven't seen that either. I haven't
watched it.
I know.
My list.
It's about immortals. It's set in like Prohibition era America, so similar sort of time period ish. Yeah.
I'll watch it. I promise you, I'll watch it.
Oh no, that's fine.
No, you
It's
bring
got
it
that
up like every
I
week.
know
You
because it's amazing.
Why haven't you watched it yet?
Dude, it's so good. It's one of my favorites. I put it up there like next to Gurren Lagann.
Next to, but not above.
Nah, it's
Never above
in
him.
it's in that same tier.
Nothing's above him.
I have a tier listing. I don't have like a number ranking because I can't
No,
do
you
that
can't.
to my babies.
So we're up in SS tier at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do really enjoy his other work, Durarara, but it's not as
It's a
good.
little bit slower.
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Durara is okay, but I found it a little bit slow.
Yeah, the first half, like, and because it's setting up like all these different plot threads that all end up intertwining, and up until that point, it does feel like it takes a little bit to kind of get going.
That's always a gamble.
So good though, like the payoff. It's the same in Baccano, like that's what the author's good at.
Okay. Okay. Very good. That's on my list now. Right. What do we want to jump straight into the weeklies? We're done for. There's not much news. Basically, jump to the weekly anime at this point.
I know that I just finished talking, but I'm gonna start talking about something else you haven't read or watched.
Are you gonna do a One Piece thing?
Actually, no. We will jump into Icehead Gill before we jump into the weeklies because I want to. I've been keeping up with it, and I don't know why, because those first two chapters were really rough. Chapter 3 and 4, I feel like it's starting to find its feet. What were your thoughts?
Okay, so the two chapters. So I skipped chapter 2. I read chapter 1. Was thoroughly disappointed. Skipped chapter 2.
You don't need to.
And I will admit, chapter 3, I skimmed.
Yeah.
I read most of it, but there was a lot of talking, a lot of walking around. There wasn't a lot happening.
Yeah.
And then chapter 4, a lot more happens, and the weird thing is I don't know what you're gonna say, but it's giving me like this little tiny bit of Hunter x Hunter vibe.
I haven't read Hunter x Hunter.
Oh,
I
okay.
tried to read the first chapter, and I'm like, man, I'm not in the right frame of mind to read this because
it's one of those series that you have to you have to persevere through the first like 30 chapters before it really kicks off, which sounds silly, but
that it does.
As far as I'm concerned, because the first 30
like 3
chapters,
volumes.
Yeah, but they're like really generic, like typical what you would expect from a shonen series, and then
especially of that time.
Yeah, and then it gets weird. And they let the author just do whatever they want, which is, and then it gets really good.
Like, in saying that, I really did enjoy Yu Yu Hakusho when I went back to it. I didn't really vibe with it when it came out back in the 90s. The anime. Was that the 90s?
Yeah. Late 90s.
Late 90s? Yeah.
The series is way back though.
I still haven't finished it. I think I'm in like the last little. I mean, it basically like revolutionized the whole fighting tournament thing after Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
It refined it to a point.
I started watching it, and it's maybe like you. It's a little bit slow to start.
I kind of wish they did more of the detective stuff before jumping into the battle royale.
Wow, so the thing is I knew about the battle royale stuff, and I jumped into it going, oh yeah, battle royale, let's go. And then it starts off in this weird detective-like ghost state, and I'm just like, what's going on? I thought we are meant to be going to hell and fighting shit. That's what's why we're
The
hanging
start of
around here.
I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but the start of Yu Yu Hakusho, I can see a lot of inspiration that Siren took for its sort of beginning setting.
Yep. Yep.
Specifically, well, I mean,
Favorite
even
comic number
when
2.
I know, right? It's either One Piece or Siren.
Yeah.
Even with, I guess, like the going to hell, which at the time you don't know where they are, but it seems like a hellscape, and there's like monsters and stuff. But
Yeah.
it kind of went more of like a darker route, where like Yu Yu Hakusho was, even though it was darker than most shonen, it was still pretty shonen.
Well, back then it was dark for its time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot more violent and dark for its time.
Yeah.
Versus what we deal with today, which is, yeah, it's pretty rough stuff.
Getting very off topic.
That's right.
Icehead Gill.
Yeah, let's get back to that.
Yeah.
I said Hunter, and we sidetracked there.
Yeah, we did.
I said Gil. So yeah, look, you're right. The protagonist is one of the most irritating characters I've come across in the past 15 years.
And you know what I think is helping it?
This side partner is making a massive difference in the storytelling and the way the characters interact.
It's even kind of mellowing him out a little bit. He's still annoying, but not
it's
as
giving
bad.
it's giving him half the dialogue.
Yeah.
It's not giving him all the dialogue, which is what we had before. Him felt like him just talking to himself a lot of the time.
The thing I think that annoys me about him is that he feels like he pendulum swings between being an absolute idiot and being a competent protagonist. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what it is about him. He just kind of pisses me off.
He pisses you off because he is such a cookie cutter protagonist. He has no depth.
He's not Luffy stupid. He's annoying stupid.
He's ignorant.
He's ignorant.
He's ignorant to the world around him. He's ignorant to the world around him, and he's ignorant to the way things are. And he keeps trying to inflict his idea of justice and his idea of life on everyone else. And there's nothing that I hate that or irritates me more than a character that forces their ideals upon everyone else. It really annoys me.
The thing that I actually really liked was the big contrast between this new character that actually is a massive fan of Gil's father.
Yeah.
But not the version of Gil's father that Gil idolizes. He idolizes the version that is said to have murdered the prince and everything. And I'm like, that's a really interesting, like, because Gil wants to be friends with this person, but then he has like this massive vendetta against the crown because his family had been persecuted against. I don't know. There was a lot more depth and interesting stuff going on with the side character, and I just kind of wish that Gil wasn't there.
You're not wrong. I feel like I feel like he's one of those characters where they put him in because they just feel like he has to be there. Like this is a shonen, shonen jump. You've got to input this shonen character in order to make the story more likable for the, I don't know, younger audience or whatever. But I feel like they've got the bones and the vision for what they want to produce, but they don't quite know how to tune it in at the moment. And I think this is one of those series that is going to fare very well with a time skip.
I
It's
want
gonna, yeah.
I want a little bit. Yeah, I was thinking that as well. Like,
Hmm.
age Gil up a little bit, tone down his idiosyncrasies, just
Yep.
just a smidge. Like, it doesn't need to be that much. Just, I don't know. He needs some trauma. He has
Yeah.
trauma,
Yes.
but it's like water off a duck's back, and
I
he's just.
know.
It's just so
That's what's
frustrating.
really irritating because of that ignorance, competence that he has. He doesn't have that trauma to hit him, and something needs to be taken away from him in front of him. He needs that trauma straight up.
100% trusty.
Yes. Yeah, it's going to be perfect once it has a time skip, and I think give it a solid, 35. Give us an arc.
Yeah. Like, the
You know,
art's beautiful.
it's
The
actually growing on me a lot more. These later chapters that have
Yeah.
happened,
I
they've
like
definitely eased into their style.
I like the world building that they're doing. I like I like a lot of stuff about it. It's just the protagonist really irks me a lot.
Yeah, he needs to be
Um,
broken. Maybe that's the intention, though. Maybe they're
Hoping.
trying to illustrate his, super duper confidence and hardline goody goody environment just to break him.
And that's the other thing. Like, he's probably closer to like a Goku character, but
Yeah.
not. But somehow it's not working for this character. The
No,
the idiocy
because of the
level
world
is
and the scenario that he's in. Doesn't
like
make sense.
he's pretty much Goku. Like, you look at him, he's stupid. He likes food. I mean, it's pretty much all straight up
Like I said,
antagonist.
this is cookie cut. This is exactly how
Yeah.
every Shonen Jump character is, MC wise. Is
He's
here's what you got to do. You got to have strength. You've got to have food, and they've got to
family
have their life
believing.
guided by their heart and their sense of justice. That's the cookie cutter way, to lock it in. And there's been a few series that have broken out of that environment, but you look back and so many of them start off like that.
Yeah.
They start with that standard cookie cutter environment, that
I
leads us
mean,
to something
even
terrible.
Black Clover has a better beginning than Icehead Gill, I would argue. And it's very cookie cutter.
Yeah,
And I
that
say
is
that
so
with
slotted in.
really enjoying Black Clover.
I don't know, man. It never grew on me. I tried it like three
That's
times.
fair.
I just couldn't
The
do
manga
it.
or the anime or both?
I tried the manga once. I tried the anime 3 times.
Have you?
And I just couldn't. I really wanted
I
to. I just
I
really wanted
can't
to.
I can't do the sub for Black Clover. It's the
Uh-huh.
no hate against the voice actor for Black Clover's sub, but Asta screams so much in that first
Is it not
arc.
in? Is it not in the
I mean, it
dub?
is, but it's toned down and it's nowhere near as grating.
Maybe a deeper voice,
Mm,
because he does, and that's what
mm.
really turned me off super fast.
Yes,
Was the
yes.
amount of screaming. Um, it made it difficult. The reason I stopped the manga is because you're right, it's so cookie cutter that I just got bored.
It's a really good like, once it gets going, it's a pretty
Yeah.
fun fantasy series.
It's
Um
cool once you hit chapter 100.
I couldn't tell
They
you where.
say.
um it's like peak early One Piece for me is like Skypiea, which is pretty far in.
Yeah, look, my son's going through One Piece at the moment. He's been it was an episode like 180, so he's
Oh
well
yeah.
into Skype. Yeah,
I mean,
um,
wait, really? Skypiea is
yeah,
that early?
yeah.
Wow. Those later arcs
Must
really
go
do
a
blow
long
out.
time.
Like I know they do, but jeez.
They need to tighten them up a little bit, maybe.
I mean, Skypiea in the manga is like chapter 230 roughly.
No, that's about right. 180. Even that's
Yeah,
blown out a little bit.
yeah. It just
Because when you look at
it's
it, what is it?
in my
It's
head. It's a lot. It's a bit later in my head.
35, 35 to 40 chapters per season, isn't it?
And what came
On
out?
average.
What was the arc before Skypiea?
Don't know, man. Not a One Piece guy.
Oh,
You know that.
I'm including Gyre as well, so that's 218. Oh, okay, so it was Alabaster. Okay, yeah, yeah, that makes sense actually.
Okay, all makes sense.
It's
Excellent.
literally the second arc in the New World. So it's like Grand Line, Desert Country. That wraps up. That's its first like big major arc, and then we go into Skypiea.
Here I thought you
Huh.
were the encyclopedia of One
Yeah,
Piece.
dude, this is like 20 years ago, bro.
Excuses. That's all I'm hearing.
Yeah. Because like I really enjoyed the Skypiea arc, but then like the arc that follows it is just the best of One Piece in its character writing, character development, and everything. It's like the coming of age of the crew, and the turning point from where they become a bunch of friends who are going on a seafaring adventure to becoming a real pirate crew and
Yeah.
declare war on the world government. You get a lot more world building. It's just it's fucking fantastic.
So what we're seeing in Icehead Gill here is him building his crew. You think?
I don't know, man.
I don't know
just
where the
don't
direction
even.
is here. I don't actually
Yeah.
know what direction the series is heading in.
There's
And
something to do with this amulet, and that's about it.
that image actually gives it no justice. The artwork has actually come leaps and bounds. It's a lot better than previous titles. So it's looking really good. Yeah, way better.
Like it had some really cool action shots in this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like when he gets serious, I actually don't mind Gil. But when he's being all aloof, I'm like, dude, you suck. Shut up. Stop talking.
Like it's like any MC at this point. They're normally really boring when they're not in the middle of enforcing their ideals on someone. If you go back a few pages there, what was with that crazy weapon that she had?
Oh, he has like 2 boomerangs.
Yeah,
Oh wait, the bow?
no, that thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the only panel we see it in.
Yeah, I know. I'm just like, where the hell did that come from?
Not a clue. But yeah, he was like, "Oh, it's a bow." I'm like, "Is it?"
Now these two, I'm gonna guess that these two are going to have a tie-in because his father must have had something to do with this clan.
Yeah. So did you read this one at all, or did you skim this one too?
I kind of did. You know, I read it.
Yes,
I read it.
Gil's dad arrested and blinded this dude instead of putting him to death. And this guy, Gil's dad, saved his life in the process. So there's a bit of tie-in between all of them at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still early days. I'm starting to like it a bit more. I'm getting a little bit of Red Hood vibes. Maybe it's just because of like
it's the visual style.
The visual style, the settings kind of similar. Like it's fantasy, not I mean, yeah, similar, right? Because
If at
it's
some
more
point they go to
Norse.
some sort of school or some sort of guild and they have to do some sort of training, that's it. I'm done. I'm stopping the series because it's going to be dropped in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Yeah. Feels like it's
looking better.
set in a similar fantasy region, if you know what I mean. Like Red
Yeah.
Hood's like Germanic, um Brothers Grimm, this is like Norse, kind of close geographical wise.
Yeah. There's similar
Um
influences.
so the reason there was two reasons I wanted you to read this, because one, everything that we already talked about, and two, um Jack brought to my attention that apparently un we're quite harsh on the newer series,
Oh
and
yeah, we
we
have
don't
been
really,
recently.
but that there's reason for that,
Yeah,
because
because
they're
we
not.
want to hate it because they're going to be cut.
Well, I was gonna say they replaced our favorites, and
Yeah,
and
yeah, we do.
honestly, they've been kind of really weak first chapters. Like, Do Retry was pretty weak. Loving it at the moment.
Yes, that's
Um,
grown on me a lot more.
Icehead
Um,
Gill, really
it's
weak
getting
first
there.
couple of
I
chapters.
feel like it's got like really solid bones though. Like it's
Yeah,
gonna come good in like the 30th chapter. It's gonna be really, really
I hope it
something
doesn't
else.
take that long.
I know, but I just feel like that's the kind of room it needs in order to
Yeah.
sort of get everything dusted out of the cupboard.
Now, I know that you haven't actually read it. However, you did skim it. Um, just to completely flip everything that Jack was saying about us being unreasonably hard on the first chapters and not giving it a chance. This series here, Wild Strawberry, fucking hits it out of the park. It is an
It's gorgeous.
amazing first chapter.
I
It
know I
does.
skimmed it, but visually
Oh
speaking, I could tell what was happening. The
yeah,
and the thing is, it's not even just that the art is beautiful and looks great. The composition, the way the characters
yeah.
express, the way the panels move is way different to the other stuff that's happened. It's a whole different class. So, do we know that this is this a new
I'm just checking
mangaka?
now.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry, you knew
No,
I
not
was coming in with that.
manga, not the plant. uh,
Because it reeks of experience. It's not,
it's very refined.
yeah, it's not like a brand new, I've been an assistant for 2 years and now I'm gonna do something kind of series. It's definitely got legs, and it's got not just visual style legs, but story legs and character representation. It's doing very, very well straight off the bat. You're not finding a thing, are you?
Nah.
No.
Did my face betray me, did it?
Yes, it did.
uh, Last
Yep.
chance to find something. Mangadex
Yep.
usually doesn't let me down if it wants to load. Oh my god. So
So
the hang on, actually, I'll leave that there for a second because where is it? Manga Plus has
I
a
don't know.
much
Where'd you put it?
better. Oh man, I
It's got a
misplaced
breakdown.
everything everywhere.
That's right.
When did it drop? It was before the
Just
weekend.
this
It dropped
week.
on the weekend. Yeah, there it is.
Oh man, this app sometimes just doesn't show me like the new stuff.
All right, read the synopsis for me.
Plants have evolved. They can now feed on humans and become terrible monsters known as Jinka. Kingo and Kayano do their best to survive in a Tokyo overrun by plants. But when Kayano becomes a Jinko, Kingo will do anything he can to get her back.
Actually, I think this might be a Friday release, like Kaiju. So
Okay.
from what I can tell, this is their first work. But you just look at this, just the first page, and it's just incredible. Like it's pretty. Like you said, the composition is fantastic. It doesn't need a whole lot to tell you that we're in like a post-apocalyptic setting. It's just, oh man, I'm just really happy with this one. It's just so good. It even kind of gives me a little Tokyo Ghoul Parasite.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say Tokyo Ghoul for a second there because it's got a bit of an edge to it.
Yeah. Even I'd probably even go with Hell's Paradise as well, but it's modern day. So if you put Hell's Paradise in like modern day Tokyo sort of setting, that's where I'm kind of pulling there. Yeah. No, Hell's Paradise. The ninja one. Yeah, not Heavenly Delusion. Belle does the same thing. I'm like, how are you getting those through?
I heard the H, and I just didn't.
I know.
And my mind was already in the Heavenly Delusion mode. I was like, I'm associating these two together, and then you went and said Hell's Paradise because of all the plant-like shenanigans going on.
And just the body horror aspects of it. Just so happy, man. I didn't know I wanted this, but it is scratching an itch. Oh
yeah, it's been a little while since we've seen something a little bit more horror-like in the Shonen Jump title.
Even though we're still getting Ishida with like Trojan X, it's not. It's not the same.
It's not horror.
What he did with Tokyo Ghoul. It's not anywhere near as edgy. It's much more
shonen.
I mean, it's dark and adult, but it's a lot more fun
shonen
and upbeat. Yeah. I mean, they're talking about drugs and shit at the moment, which I was like, oh, I was not expecting this.
They've been talking about it for a little while.
I know.
But they start talking recreational.
Yeah. I mean, they haven't really been talking about it super amount, have they? It's only been the last couple of chapters.
Yeah.
But I mean, their chapters are pretty big.
Yeah. That they are.
Yeah. I would 1,000,000% recommend this.
Yeah.
And I think this one's a digital only.
Color.
We got color pages splashed in, and this little bit of like the 1/8
I loved it.
of the page. I was like, ooh. I also really liked Calorie Mates. I was like, I played a lot of Metal Gear Solid, and Calorie Mates were like a big thing in that for some reason. I don't know why. And when I saw it on the first page, I was like, oh, I know what that is.
Reference back to the 90s.
So it's post-apocalyptic. Feels kind of like humanity's. It's really a bit unclear because it feels like everything's kind of continuing on, but plants have gone ape shit. And it's like The Happening, but good. Is that what the movie was called?
Yes. The M. Night Shyamalan film.
Yeah.
Happening, where they did the pollen that killed everyone.
Yeah.
I as much as people hated that film, I actually enjoyed it. It was kind of just silly.
Yeah. Yeah. I enjoyed it too. Like, it was fun. I didn't think it was I thought it was stupid.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
which is fine.
but I feel like it would have been a much more broader success if they had done something more like this with like weird, gross body horror and I don't know, a little bit more of a tangible villain as opposed to just the trees.
Yeah,
Whoosh. You know what I mean? I see what
yeah,
he was
yeah.
going for, but humans need a bit more of a tangible um physical villain to latch onto. I mean, just look at COVID. Um, it 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 kind of didn't click with a lot of people because it was a
No.
microscopic enemy. Oh God, my nose. Um, but yeah, you get stuff like this where there's a diner, people are eating, and all of a sudden this dude's head blooms, which I like because it's like it's like an explosion, but it's also the
Does, it looks
flowers.
great. I'll tell you what. So I'm just buzzing around online, and the mangaka actually has a pretty solid
Oh, you found?
Twitter account. Yeah, they're on
Ah,
Twitter. Very low amount of followers, so only 500 followers. Um, and there's a lot of in-depth work that's shown up there. I'm going to follow that. Oh, God.
it,
Aya
it
Yonamoto.
yeah, it is a big chapter. We get 85 pages. So like Logan was saying before, it's brother and sister trying to survive in the middle of Tokyo, which seems to be the epicenter of the worst of the overrun with the plants. Um, and rent is super cheap there because the higher um, mortality rate, more people blooming in that area, and there's uh, an equivalent to like the kaiju defense force, which are basically like reverse firefighters, where they set fires to like it do control burn offs essentially, um, and I don't want to spoil too much
No,
because
then just leave it at
this
that.
I think I will. It's just yeah, I
Looks
get on
great.
it. It is a very very cool series.
I already see this animated.
Yeah. Oh
So
yes.
it visually designed, like I said before, the composition in it is designed with a very particular eye. So whoever's done this, um, Ire, I'm guessing that's how you pronounce it. I'm probably
Ide,
butchering the
yeah.
hell out of it. Is clearly someone who understands photography and understands film and all those sides of things, as well as comic book
Mm,
composition, because that's not something you get from just general experience.
yeah.
They're clearly a fan of everything, and you see it a lot in Fujimoto's work as well. You know, and he's been an avid verbalizer of how much of a cinematographer geek he is. Um, so it's
And
understandable that composition becomes a big part of the game.
yeah. If you understand like the composition side of things, it can lead into a bleed over effect between comics, graphic novels, TV, movies,
Yeah,
all of that stuff because it it blends over between all of the mediums so well. And if you do it well in manga side of things, I feel like
translates way
you
better.
essentially use your comic book as a storyboard for your adaptation later on.
Yeah, I mean, you look at two of some of the greatest directors we've had. or 3. Okay, we've got Satoshi Kon, mangaka, before he became an animator, before he became a director, and Toma Katsuhiro, who did Akira, of course, did Akira, then became director because he couldn't believe nobody else could do it for him. Control freak is
typical creative.
Yeah, and our favorite Studio Ghibli director. Wow,
the one that's gone on record to saying that
wow,
manga was a mistake.
Yeah.
Hayao Miyazaki, is that who you're after?
Yeah. So I can't believe I forgot that. Wow.
I was trying to buy time for you, but
yeah,
I was like,
no,
nah, he's lost it.
No. Miyazaki, who of course did manga back in the day. And it was, I don't know if you've ever seen. Yeah. If you ever see any of his manga, it is so, like, it's thick. It's like condensed. The amount of information he puts on a page is phenomenal.
I don't think I actually have.
Because he did the manga for Valley of the Wind.
I've seen the book that came with.
Yeah.
That is not how you spell it. I did Mizuyaki instead.
I'm sure that'll work in the end, won't it? And that's a really beautiful book. So if anybody who loves his anime work, his direction, definitely pick up some of his manga because it actually translates better. I much prefer his manga work than his anime. Not saying that his anime is bad, because damn, that stuff is just gorgeous to watch because he absolutely punishes his animators, but it shows on screen. His and look at it, it's straight out of the late 80s, early 90s.
I have seen some of Nausicaa. I still haven't actually gotten around to fully.
Sorry? No, don't admit
I haven't
that.
watched all of it. Yeah, I know.
Just don't admit it. It's just
it's the one that I haven't actually sat down and watched in its entirety.
Really? Because it's like my favorite.
Yeah, I know. Well, not to try and use it as another thing to make you read One Piece. Apparently there's a lot of inspirations. Like, it's a heavy inspiration. There's a lot of parallels, like with the ancient kingdom side of
influenced
things.
So many people over the years. And his work is groundbreaking because he puts so much of himself into it. Saddest man on the planet, but his
it's like
everything for it.
My favorite comparison between mangakas is Hayao Miyazaki and Junji Ito.
Yeah, everybody loves that. The happiest, cutest guy you'll ever come across. He's just gorgeous, that man. He really is.
Like,
you look at the works on his pages, and it's just amazing. But it gives you this great understanding that people aren't their work, and the work isn't the people. So
I mean, generally they're the opposite, right? Like, you look at a lot of comedians,
sometimes,
like Robin Williams, Jim
Carrey.
No,
sorry, I was just going harsh.
Not the route that I was going.
Opposite side. Carrey's a weird one. Jim Carrey's a weird one. He's a smart fellow.
Yeah. I mean,
wasn't.
Anyway, segue in.
Segue into. Okay, so this is my favorite of the new series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, like I was like, do retry. But then this came out. I'm like, it was a bit of a slower burn in that first chapter.
The first chapter
But
I knew exactly where it was going after that first chapter, though. This is the thing. Even though the first chapter was a kind of a slow burn, you knew that it was stepping into something bigger straight off the bat. So, the combination of some really, the artwork is really nice.
it's
But
Martial
I
Master.
couldn't.
I always forget.
I still couldn't pick the style from a lineup of other manga. So there's nothing particularly unique about the style, but the characters and the story draw you in pretty well.
Oh man, I just remembered. I was like, what happened in this chapter? Oh yeah,
His brother.
yeah.
Can't wait till the next chapter, man. I'm so
I
ready
mean,
for it.
I feel like he's just gonna get his
Oh, he's
ass
gonna get
kicked.
destroyed. Which is gonna be great though, because that's gonna be the platform.
Yeah, the drive.
The fire that ignites inside him, which is gonna be
This
great.
was so cool.
Oh, it ticked every box I wanted from like an action martial arts series. Just in these like 3 pages, I'm just like, this is everything.
I got chills like when she's like this section going into it where she's like, oh Ito, you forgot your headgear, and he's just like, make sure you
He's
don't
in
miss
the
this, and
zone.
jumps. I was just like chills. I was like, oh
Yep.
man, it was so good. And then he just bam, done. Like 10 seconds,
Mommy,
he's out. He's like, hey, uncle. And like, are they all stupid? Like, he's clearly related. Like, they look almost identical.
Shh, shh, shh. They all look the same.
It's just like, what do you mean? Oh, he's your brother? Yeah, of course. Like,
Yeah.
1 + 1, guys.
I think the hero of this particular chapter was the cameraman. I love side characters like him. He's just so out of place.
He kind of reminded me of the only good character in Cheat Skill.
Yep, he did very much like the fashion designer from Cheat Skill. Yeah.
Was he? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they could do a whole series about that guy.
Yeah.
Maybe they should.
But yeah, no. If you're still sleeping on MMA, and you like cool fight stuff and martial arts, stop sleeping on it. It's real good.
MMA. It's Martial Master Asumi.
Nah, I can't remember that.
It's MMA.
Also, when you were like, "Oh, bro, Asumi," I'm like, "Hell, are you talking about?" He's talking about the martial arts one, isn't he?
Yeah.
Like it took me like a good 5 minutes. I'm like, what the yeah, nah, it's good. I'm really digging it. I really liked the this dumb Yakuza dude. Well, he's not Yakuza, he was just like a delinquent.
Yeah, he's just his whole backstory was fantastic.
It was so dumb.
But it was what we needed. It was that sort of break that we needed. And
Yes.
I hope that they do this every time they get into the ring, the whole backstory before the fight happens. This is going to make things
I'm
so
hoping
much
that
more
it's
interesting.
we do have a little bit more like fleshed out fights, because that's what I want from Do Retry as well. More fleshed out fights. Not like as cool as this was, where it was like boom, he just grappled and like almost tore this man's arms out of their sockets in like 10 seconds flat. Amazing. I want more like that little fight that he had with what's her face's dad.
Phenomenal.
So cool.
Yeah, that was a good fight. I really enjoyed that. You know, it was
And I liked
over, was it 2 chapters? It was over 2 chapters. So
yeah, it must have been. And what I liked that in this chapter, he makes note of that even though he was fighting up against the pro, he matched his level. The pro,
Yeah.
her dad matched his level, and that's how he managed to survive / win, kind of, but not really.
Yeah.
Broke the rules.
He also wasn't taking it seriously. He was just sort of. This
I
time
mean,
around, he was in for it. He was in the
yeah,
gear.
yeah. Oh, dude, such a cool chapter. I'm really, really vibing it. But then, like, he's gonna die.
Same face. Oh yeah, he's about to die. He's about to be completely destroyed. Look
By
at
the
his brother.
school
He's
of
just
hard knocks. I mean, his brother is such a loser. I really do not like him. But I guess
don't
that's the
you?
point, right?
I don't know. I actually kind of like him because
He seems like such a
as
flawed.
much as he seems like a pompous tool, he's poured his entire self into what he does.
Yeah, but he's
Everything
also a
he
twat to
does.
his family as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that he's a nice guy. I'm just saying you got to have a little bit of respect for the guy who has literally
yeah.
poured himself into the platform that he's
He's
running on.
He's a good character. He's just a twat.
Yeah. We're meant to hate him, but we're also meant
I
to
know.
respect him and his level of. So they've done a good job of setting this up, that making you, for the past 4 chapters,
he's a good
you've hated
antagonist.
this guy because he's run out on his family, he's left everyone behind, he's essentially stolen all the information that his grandfather has passed down to him, with very little respect in behalf to it. It's you're meant to dislike this guy. They set it up that way,
no
but
longer,
by the end of this chapter, you're just like,
when his grandfather's no longer of any value to
he can't take him any further because he only wanted striking. He didn't want grappling. He only just wanted to punch the crap out of things.
Was that I must have missed that.
So what was happening?
So we're going into striker versus grappler, or is that the?
Yeah, that's what's happening right now. Okay. So he was fully trained by his grandfather in striking. That was his primary operation, whereas Asmid didn't like striking. He much preferred grappling because there wasn't that impact of pain. He prefers to stay away from that. So.
I don't know,
he's about to feel it.
That looks
about to feel it.
That looks pretty
painful.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. He likes to inflict the pain. He's inflicting the pain. He's not receiving the pain.
In saying that, well, no, that's because that was his whole thing. He doesn't like pain in general, inflicting, receiving, or otherwise.
Yeah, he prefers not to, but when he flips that switch, things change. Yeah. But the thing is once that switch is flicked, there's no turning it off. I mean, even his friend is like, "Oh no, I signed on for this. This is my fault. I did this.
Yeah,
I get that
he's like,
dicks,
no,
but I did this." And he's just like, "I don't give a shit. I'm gonna go tear someone apart just because I need to."
Well,
he's got the blood is pumping by this point.
I understand where the friend's coming from as well, and yeah, he might have signed a waiver, but nah.
Like, they're tools. Yeah.
Like, he's an absolute amateur, and they know that, and they're just like, nah, we're just gonna film this, kill some time, get some recordings until the actual dude shows up. I reckon the dude that's gonna show up is gonna be a nice dude, and he's gonna swing in and at the opportune moment to like save Nito's life or some shit. Like, it'll be getting the fight will be getting out of hand, and he'll come in and break it up. I reckon that's the play.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
I wonder who this person is that's coming in.
Is it gonna be another estranged brother?
I don't think so.
Or maybe someone related to
Maybe it's his
our
brother's trainer.
Thing girl. I don't know. No, it seemed like it was
Maybe
another fighter.
it's
Something to tie
the
in
someone in
the
relation to
secret.
that fight that that didn't happen.
Yeah, maybe that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Tying it
Come
all
on,
together.
let's weave some more web here. I'm really game for this. I'm loving it. It's
Yeah.
going to be cancelled, but I love it.
No.
Sorry.
If I have to choose between it and Do Retry, I'm sorry. I know
Yeah,
it'll
do
be
retries
their
go in.
second.
As much as I love the weird quirkiness of do retry, it's not going to survive. I'm calling it now. Only because I don't think its sales is going to do as well. The boxing genre in itself is tricky to reside in, and it's already been done in two ways very, very well. Three ways done very well. So it's difficult to do it. It's
Literal
been done from
child.
every angle.
Uh,
And we've just had nothing but cream at the end. So to throw in a boxing series is going to be tough, like really, really tough. And the way he's throwing in this weird fantasy kind of vibe to the whole thing is making it possibly a little bit too quirky.
See, I feel like that could be what saves it.
Yeah, but they're not
And
leaning enough into it. Like, oh my god, look at that hand.
Where is it? I don't know why it swings back like that.
I know the art swings backwards and forwards so much. It's frustrating.
Oh, you're talking about this hand?
Yeah, I'm talking about that hand. Looks like a freaking titan.
Well, yeah, because it's his hand.
But it looks so dumb.
Also,
no.
I this dude's design. I can't settle on whether or not I love it or hate it.
It's
Especially
terrible.
when he shoots up, his face just goes.
He just squashes his head in, and his eyes just go higher. They just go vertically.
It's like he's got a little black hole pimple in the middle of his face that's just sucking his face in. This fight though, I feel like we're about to like it didn't seem super noticeable, but he even mentions like, "Ooh, you're all handsome now."
Yeah, he's
There's
dropped
something
the black hole.
I'm starting to feel like we're getting into the meat of the series now. And like what was I watching recently? Oh, it was Vinland Saga. Where Thorfinn, the main character in season 2, he's becoming a pacifist, right? And he knows how to take a hit. And so like he makes a bet with a bunch of soldiers that if he can withstand 100 blows by this like monster of a man, that they'll let him see their general so that they can have peace talks, because they're like, you're a slave, we're not, you're not, no. And then he's like, all right, well, let me do this and then we can talk. And so he's already taken like a few hits at this point, and the other MC for season 2 comes in. And he's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "It's all right. There's a specific way that you can take a hit where it doesn't leave that much impact on you." And it's like the exact same mentality where you're like leaning, you
Move
what's the word I'm after?
with the punch.
Yeah, yeah. Interpret is kind of the word that I was getting stuck on. But like, yeah, you see where the punch is going, and yeah, you move with it. And I'm really digging this. And it suits him, his character very well.
My problem with it is so if you look at these 3 pages that happened beforehand,
Mm.
The progress of
Ooh,
growth is too quick.
been weeks though.
Like this is yeah, but no. No, my man. You don't learn a counter in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. You don't learn to feint in 2 or 3 weeks. Nah, that stuff takes years.
Okay. Yes.
Um,
He's also
no, I'm just saying that they're skipping the fundamentals because they want to get to the fantasy side.
yeah, I get
See,
what you
see, this is where
I
they
mean
wanted to get. They want to get to the secret technique fantasy side of it.
you can argue though, like the him watching his father for all of his life, sort of thing, him being in like all these street brawls, like you can kind of like it's
You can take a
arguable,
punch,
but
but learning the technique and the physical
I know,
requirements for
man.
what
I'm trying to
happens
give
is just
it the
I know,
benefit of the
I
doubt,
get it,
right?
I get it. This is a comic book and it's a story, and I'm taking it too seriously. I get this, but I just feel like it's too quick. You know,
I don't think that this is going to be like the end point, but yes, I get what you're saying.
yeah.
You
And
wanted
he's
a little
and
bit
a straight and a
more.
straight right is his power move,
Yeah, pretty much.
which is Ippo's power move, which
Oh, is
is
it?
it's the power move for basically all the boxes.
I mean, it's
Um,
boxing. What else are you gonna do?
well, let me give you a rundown of a few techniques.
Oh,
Yeah,
or
look, there's options. There's a lot of options.
yeah, no.
Um,
Oh
you
no.
know,
I mean, like you can.
clearly this is a very unusual fight because the guy he's facing is an outboxer and he's an inboxer. So in order for the inboxer to get in close, the outboxer has to let him do it, and he's let him do it for God knows what reason.
I don't know what any of that was that you just said.
Basically, every time an MC moves forwards, the bad guy should have moved backwards
Mm,
or around or circled him or should have kept on the outside of him because he's got longer arms and he can
yeah.
punch a longer distance. It makes more sense for him to. So I'm just saying that
Well,
these guys are
he's.
meant to be professional boxers. He's meant to have learnt all the techniques from his father. He's
I
not
mean,
showing
all.
it. Yeah, he's just not
I
showing
mean, he's learned a technique.
it. That technique
he.
looked pretty ridiculous on everyone else.
Oh, you mean the villain dude, right? Yeah,
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 yeah. And I guess he's like the counter specialist, and by the sound of it from that previous chapter, he only is really good when he's shooting up. So I don't know how good he
yeah.
actually is.
Well, he smashes him before he shoots up as well.
Yeah, from counters. You take the counters away, what's he got? Shooting up.
Yeah, but
Unless he's
you know,
got something else
can
under his belt, but I mean,
counters are pretty functional.
I know, but if you take away, if that's all he's got, and you take that away, then he's kind of boned.
Yeah, sort of. He's still meant to be a
Anyway,
boxer. I don't get it. These guys
yeah,
are all fully ripped, and you'd think that they've gone through some sort of boxing training, but none of them need. They just don't know how to dodge.
but I mean, yeah,
I might also be reading into it a bit too much because we're talking about, post-war Japan. How much do these people actually know about boxing technique? How much do they know about how to,
don't know what
work
the.
with the sport? Because it would have been pretty new to them at that point, right?
Well, it was pre-war Japan where the his dad was fighting, though, right?
Which is, oh, now I need to know how long boxing's been in Japan for.
Already ahead of you. 1854. So
Yeah?
yeah,
How about that?
a American naval officer landed in Japan in 1854 in Shimada. And it's probably like the you remember the baseball
dude,
scene in
what was the American's name?
yeah, I know.
What
I
is it?
know.
What is it?
Matthew Perry.
So Matthew Perry taught the Japanese how to box.
Not that Matthew Perry though.
I know. Well, what if he time traveled?
I mean, yeah, it looks just like him.
Just the idea of it. How good would it be if they did? Oh, wow. What is that?
That's Matthew Perry.
What a weird looking fellow.
Yeah.
Look at his hands.
I wonder if he has cauliflower ears.
Nah, they didn't know how to box back then.
Like, it probably took a little while to kick off there as well. 1887 was probably like the first. Yeah, so like late 1800s.
Yeah. So Yujiro Watanabe, the father of Japanese boxing, was born in 1890. So, yeah, I mean,
It's
they've been at it for a
comfortably been
while.
there, comfortably been in the country for about 50 years.
Yeah, okay. But post-war, man,
Yeah, so now it's
how many boxes are actually out there
now it's
after
50
that?
years currently. Is it World War I or II? I don't remember.
2.
It is 2?
Isn't it 2?
I can't remember.
Well, it is because World War One's in France.
True.
Yeah.
What did you pin? Man, I can't remember, but I know a
I
lot
don't
more
think they
about
had
2
anything
than
to
1.
do with 1. They had more to do with Russia. And war, didn't they? Going back to our Golden Camway experience there. Yeah.
I couldn't
Come
resist.
fight with me. Come fight with me.
So stupid. Oh,
you're going to talk about Chosen X that I haven't read yet.
Haven't you?
I haven't.
That's all right.
Man, my time has been slowly shredded this past week, and I haven't been able to keep up the way I want to.
I'm loving post time skip Tokyo so much.
Is it more relaxed?
It feels hard boiled, but like relaxed hard boiled, and I don't know how that works, but it does.
Yeah. Like it's got this this is
almost like Jackie Chan essence to it, because he's like
but
that
we're
real
talking like
reactive.
Jackie Chan in his late 20s, early 30s kind of Jackie Chan.
Yeah, like less comedy, more gritty.
Yeah, police story Jackie Chan.
It's hard to kind of the tone has shifted, and for the better. Oh, dude, the corpse lady, I'm really enjoying her little story at the moment. We didn't get much more. Yeah, the corpse trader. She's working for the bad guys.
Yeah. We had that little sneak about. Sorry, I'm going off last chapter. We had that little sneak.
And she met Azuma on the beach.
Yeah.
I was about to say, are you 2 chapters behind?
No. I remember that. She's a very interesting character. I'm curious to see, because she's more of a zombie trader than a corpse trader.
But semantics.
Yes.
So like she's
another one to ship
working
off to. I love the little instruction sheet that she sends with them.
It was she's so cute. She's like kawaii and kawaii at the same time.
I don't know the difference.
It's cute and scary.
Oh,
It's
that's
so
so close.
I know. It's kawaii is the scary and
But
kawaii is
so it's
cute.
got two eyes. One's got two
Yeah.
eyes and one's got one.
Yep.
Wow, that's annoying.
Yup.
I don't want to
Dude,
mess that up.
there are so many characters that are so similar. It is doing my head in. I'm getting to that point where I'm like, oh yeah, nope, nope. Brain.
He's pushing the ensemble out too far for me again. This is one of the things that where I started to get a little bit lost on Tokyo Ghoul is when he started to expand out on the range of characters in the story,
He's
and you
definitely
start to lose.
doing it better than he did in Tokyo Ghoul
Yeah,
RE though.
yeah, no doubt. You learn stuff over the years, but I still think that expanding to that scale of ensemble cast, and I will say this early in the story because let's face it, it's still kind of early.
We're at chapter 40, but they're big boy chapters.
Yeah, I know they're big boy chapters, but
We
still,
might as well be like chapter 80. We're almost at the 100 chapter mark.
I can't
Just
remember
by
like
page count.
105 characters.
Ah,
I
there's
can't do. I have
really
enough trouble keeping up with Chainsaw Man, let alone this.
there's like 3 main ones you got to remember, and then there's like the rest.
Yeah, yeah.
um,
No,
yeah, no.
I'll get onto it. It's one of my major players.
I
I
like
gotta read it.
the little team that he has at the moment because he's an officer now, so he's up there, so he's like leading his own team in the field, but he's got his I guess senior officer. I don't know what
Yeah.
he's the guy that trained him.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I forgot his name. Like visually, I'm like, oh, it's this dude. Um, Satori or something. I don't
I'm
know.
liking the fact that he doesn't have some sort of whingy whiny trauma from having his team wiped.
Mm.
I
Oh,
mean,
dude, that
he's
scene where
sad.
he's talking about it with
Yeah.
Ellie, and he's just like, "Oh yeah, this is the reason I said to use this picture." I was just like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
yeah. It hits you really
oh."
hard. And it's
He's just
his
he's so nonchalant about it as well.
a little bit, but it's kind of burning him up
Oh yeah,
inside a bit. But
it was like
he also
somber.
knows that he can't dwell on it too much because it's going to happen again.
Yeah.
And it's
I mean, they're going to war essentially, right?
yeah, people are gonna die, and a lot of people are gonna die. It's it's gonna be rough.
Why couldn't they raise though? Did they mention that? Or did they just get completely obliterated?
I'm assuming they got destroyed. I mean,
They haven't really elaborated like what's the point of no
how the
return.
mechanic of that works.
Yeah.
Because they do say they can raise forever, right? They can just keep
Yeah,
raising,
but the
but there's a
nerve
pain level.
endings
Yeah,
essentially get raw. But what's her
it's what the drugs are
face?
for. The
Yeah.
opium.
What was her name? I can't remember now. The big bad that we're kind of dealing with.
Yeah.
The previous Trojan X. She can like basically regen from a cell almost, but she's like
Hmm.
peak Trojan, and she's gotten to a point where she can no longer revert back to a human form. So it's like we have an upper limit, but it's for peak Trojan. So I don't know.
Yeah. It's a balance somewhere.
Yeah,
I guess we'll learn it soon as they head into the crop.
man, the last chapter was just so goofy, so dumb. I like how
He
goofy it is.
It sprinkles it in there. You know, you
Yeah.
get those goofy moments and then you get the serious moments. The balance is good. The balance is good.
Speaking of excellent balance, make it quick. We're getting to time.
I know. Fantastic. Read it. The best in the world. It's just
I always forget that I've got to log in.
yeah, because it's 18 plus. Don't show us your stuff. This battle arc has been so amazing.
Yeah.
So vitally amazing.
Don't understand how they get this detail out week after week though. Like, my god.
It's because it's actually 4 people working on that page at once.
Look at this. Look at this.
Yeah.
Even just this.
I can see it, man.
The
I
drip.
can see it.
The foot.
It's the composition, the angles, the illustrations, the understanding, the expressions, it's just fantastic. And the goofiness.
Oh
man, I love that moment when they're having that heart to heart and then it just cuts to that super goofy panel afterwards. Yeah. Look at that background.
This is
that
also what we're kind of missing from Kaiju number 8, to be honest.
Yeah, that scale, the volume.
Yeah.
But Kaiju has a bigger repercussion kind of environment. If you had something like that, the casualties would be enormous.
Good. Dan's like, oh, I'm sorry, Kaiju number 8.
You thought you had that corner? Oh man, and love the little hint of tentacle action going on as well.
Oh man, I'm so glad we finally, like, I've been talking about it for weeks now that we haven't seen what they look like, and we finally got to see what some of the the bad aliens look like, and I'm glad they look stupid as hell.
Those stupid octopus things.
They look like Octoroks almost. Actually, it kind of honestly it felt like a little bit.
No, you're on the track. You're on the track. You're right.
Yeah. It felt like a little bit of a nod to Aliens area.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't know. I think that character design is pretty generic for Aliens.
I know. I just like Aliens area.
Yeah, I know. I know. But it's
I also have like this headcanon
cool.
where all the like mangakas are all like buddy and
I
forgot his name again.
You don't need to know it.
Tabata. No, that's Black Clover, isn't it?
That's Black Clover. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God damn it! I do it every time.
Sure. But of course, we had
Yuki Nobo. That's it.
Yeah, we had the greatest nod of all time in the last couple of pages, where he does the absolutely impressive Kaneda slide into the environment. I love it. It's just like full Akira.
Yeah.
Breaks through, does his little Kaneda slide. And then brings out the little the post-it note that was designed for
Granny.
Granny. Yeah.
He is the main character in his own head, though.
Which makes him a very potent character because the gear that he has with him relies on that.
Yeah.
Making him an incredibly powerful character. So let's see what he pulls out, because I feel like it's going to be very anime inspired.
Actually, because it's just the like the Torii gate from the house, isn't it?
Yeah,
isn't
I
that
think
what he
so.
made the bike from?
Yeah, because they took the house.
They took the house, yeah.
Yeah, but that's all he needs. He only needs to cover his body. He doesn't have to.
True. Yeah, actually, he he might just make a mech suit
Yeah.
as opposed to like a full. Sorry, like an exosuit is what I was after, as opposed to
Yeah.
like a mech suit. You know what I meant?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Anyway.
Something little as opposed to something big.
Yeah.
That's
like,
the one. That's the
like
one.
a Spartan, less than a Gundam.
Yeah.
I know I
But
like
he's
blended.
gonna come in hard. It's gonna be good. And it's either gonna be him or Granny that saved the day.
I reckon it's actually going to be him. Granny's going to show
It's
up
gonna be
after
him.
everything's done.
Yeah. She'll just walk in and go, "What's going on?"
I reckon he's going to help them shut down the portal, and and then Granny will rock up after everything's done. As she
Oh well.
usually does.
Yeah. Yeah. Just in case. She only turns up when things get real bad.
I mean,
Not that they didn't get real bad this particular arc. They got pretty rough.
yeah. Who would
Yeah.
have known that?
I haven't seen Evil. Where's Evil Eye? He's just sort of disappeared a little bit.
Yeah.
He was just punching the
Actually,
crap
no, he
out
wasn't
of
in this
stuff
chapter.
before.
Yeah, he's probably just
No, he
beating the
wasn't
shit
at
out of
all.
someone. No. We had
Yeah.
Ira, but that was about it. And I still just I love her introduction where it was like I have to do it because I'm a beautiful girl. That panel is just like seared into my brain. So dumb. Well, we've given you a few things to read and watch. Check back in with us next week. If there's anything that you think we need to check out, whether it be anime or manga, let us know in the description in the comment section. I know things. Either in the live chat or in the thingy down below or wherever it is, depending on where you're watching.
The buttons, the things,
yeah,
the ticks.
Be like fucking gum that subscribe button.
You just punch your screen. It's great.
Yeah, Luffy, ring that bell like Luffy did in Skypiea, and let's go.
Ring a bell,
man.
Is that a euphemism?
I'll talk to you about later. I've been Brad.
And I've been Logan.
And this has been Read This Way.